Ubisoft have just given us more of an idea on what Assassin's Creed Jade actually is about, and there's some very intriguing ideas here that I think you'll be interested to know. So I'm going to break down everything about Jade here for you in this video so you can decide if it's worth your time, attention, and money. Also, please do drop a like on the video to help support me. I really do appreciate it, so thank you very much. Now let's start with the release date, which is yet to have a concrete day or month set in stone by Ubisoft, but as the dev team are currently sending out public beta invitations, we can provisionally say it will release next year in 2024 due to where they are in the development cycle currently. Unless the feedback of the game is absolutely terrible, then I imagine it'll be pushed back a little further. Now, officially, this is a AAA open world Assassin's Creed game built in Unreal Engine that is coming to mobile devices, so that's iOS and Android, which will also be free to play, which is a double whammy there. And I'll be honest with you, I am a little bit gutted about that because I'm not really a mobile player, but after the recent presentation at Ubisoft Forward, as well as some developer interviews, I actually think this looks really enticing because, as Andre Chan, the executive producer, says, thanks to Unreal Engine, the team have managed to achieve console and PC quality visuals, but in a mobile format. And to be fair, the game doesn't look too bad. In fact, all things considered, it seems close to the fidelity of AC Odyssey if your phone doesn't melt while it runs this game. But graphics aside, the story and setting is what intrigues me the most because it takes place during the Qin dynasty in ancient China, which is 215 BC, and within the wider AC timeline that positions itself after Assassin's Creed Odyssey but before Assassin's Creed Origins, which does mean that no AC Brotherhood exists yet in this game, but that also means that the Order of the Ancients does, who will of course be reprising their roles as our primary antagonists in this game. Now, one of the reasons why this is a really interesting setting for an AC game is that during this time period, China begins to establish its first ever empire under this Qin dynasty, which was ruled by Emperor Qin Shi Huang, who worked hard to establish a strong connection between China and the rest of the world, which is shown here through some nice key art. And speaking of which, actually, if we just zoom into that key art, we can see some Odyssey-inspired illustrations with Andre Chan, the game director, again stating in a recent interview with IGN that we will come across familiar characters in the franchise which will have a connection to the story. And with Cassandra now being a canon-based time traveler of sorts who is an immortal and is, well, essentially lives for a very long time, and who recently met Eivor in AC Valhalla, I wouldn't be surprised to see her feature in this game as she searches for ECU artifacts around the world, especially after a great spot from Your Raptor and Colin on Twitter, who noted the similarities of Cassandra's outfit and potential in-game model here, and linked to both of their posts down below if you want to have a look at that in a bit more detail. Great spots. But if Cassandra isn't in the game, Andre could be referencing Wei Yu, who was the man who assassinated Emperor Qin Shi Huang with a spear, and who you may remember appeared as a statue in Assassin's Creed 2 in the sanctuary below Villa Auditore, and who will be appearing in this game, but not as the character we will be playing, but rather the adoptive father and presumably mentor of Chiha, who is the assassin we will be playing as in Jade. And that brings us really nicely onto character customization, because for the first time in the series, we will be able to fully customize Chiha to how we want to look, which means we can choose the assassin's gender, facial features, and makeup, which, as you can see here, thanks to a screenshot from AC Initiates and linked to their channel down below. And I think that is a big positive and gets me thinking that this kind of customization may transfer across to Assassin's Creed Red, which is the next big AC open world game that is set in Japan, that is presumably coming out towards the end of next year. That said, as there's no Assassin's Creed Brotherhood in terms of lore as of yet in this game, we don't have a hidden blade, but instead we will be using a spear that performs the same killing animation, essentially, with the game focusing on close quarters combat with weapons such as a Chinese long spear, dual swords, and bows. Now, as for how the combat will work in this game, thanks to AC Initiates again, we know we'll be able to move our character around with the on-screen joystick on the left-hand side of the screen, as you can see here, as well as activate certain abilities and moves on the right-hand side of the screen whilst we're in combat to, of course, neutralize the enemy. We also do have dodge, jump, and crouch available as movement options in the game, so it'll be interesting how fast your fingers actually move on the mobile to get this all work together. Now, Ubisoft are also releasing another Assassin's Creed game this year called Nexus, which is very interesting indeed. So if you would like a no-nonsense breakdown, do click the video on your screen right now. Well, actually, it should be either to the left or the right. I don't know. It's on my face. So hopefully I'll see you there in just a second. Big thanks to Nika and Jabak and Donut for helping me make this video. And as usual, coffee is on me.